Welcome back to Prost. I'm the Gnarly Gnome. This week is a little bit different. Instead of talking about a beer, we're going to talk about a cocktail. Because, as you can see, we do drink a lot of booze in this house. We're equal opportunity drinkers. It's not just beer, but this is one of my favorite cocktails. It's really hard to pick one, but this is definitely right up there in the running as one of my favorite. I don't know if you got a chance, I hope you have, to read my article about the best margarita in Cincinnati. If you haven't, go to thegnarlygnome.com/best margarita, no spaces there, and it'll take you right to it. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but I will tell you that my margarita is not the best one in Cincinnati, but it's really good. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going with Northside American Agave. If you know anything about tequila, and it's a bigger topic than we probably have to dive into right now, it has to be made in a certain region in Mexico to be tequila. That's why this is American Agave, because it's not made in Mexico. It's made right here in Cincinnati. We're going to go with that, and we're going to go a little cheap on the triple sec, because that's actually all I have as far as I've got some orange curacao. Again, different flavor profile, slightly bigger topic than we have to get into, but I normally like Cointreau instead of just cheap triple sec, but we won't get too crazy. Another thing to note about kind of how I make my margarita, I don't just use lime juice. I use a combination of lime and lemon. I do like 3 parts lime juice to 1 part lemon, and we'll get to the actual proportions in the margarita, but just another thing to note. Also, we'll get to that, but first, let's get some preparation done. Part of what makes a cocktail fun, but also a little bit more complicated. I don't have a peeler down here. Jeez, I guess I should have prepared. We'll do this the hard way, guys. You got to prepare for this stuff. You have to garnish drinks, you have to mix things, you have to pay attention to proportions and stuff as opposed to just opening a beer. That's what makes it more complicated. It's also what makes it more fun. What I'm doing right now is slicing some garnishes, getting those ready to go, and also tearing off a piece of lime peel. This is important for your glass. Now, I do not love, I don't really care, but I don't necessarily need salt on the rim of my margarita. However, when I told my wife I was coming down here to record this, she told me she wanted a drink. So she does like salt. That's what this is for. A little bit of lime juice on the rim. And I've got one of these, I guess I should have showed it to you, one of these little dipper gizmos. You put salt in there, and then you just kind of dip your glass in that salt, and it sticks to the rim really nicely. There's 1, and there is 2. But the real trick to it is rubbing it up with some lime juice before you try to rub it, before you try to rim it, I guess. It's been a long day. All right, I already got some juice ready to go, so we're good to go on that. We'll start there. I'm making 2 drinks, so this is not the actual proportion, but I will tell you the actual proportions. An ounce of lime juice, an ounce of lime-lemon mix. Keep that in mind. So an ounce of that, I've got 2. I'm not going to measure it because I already did. Put that in your mixing glass. Next, booze. We'll go triple sec first. I guess I'm not a bartender. I've never worked in a commercial bar, but from all of the bartenders that I've ever talked to, it makes more sense to use your cheapest ingredients first, then work your way up. That's just kind of the way I've always done it because of that. However, it's not really important because it's your bar. Your triple sec, you need 3/4 of an ounce. Again, I'm making 2 drinks, so that's not what I just did. And then our non-tequila tequila. For this, 1.5 ounces. In my case, we're going to do a little bit more. And we might even do a little bit more. The fun thing about a margarita is that you really can't screw them up. I mean, you can make ones that are better than others, but even a mediocre margarita is still pretty freaking tasty, so there's that. Use whatever kind of tequila you like, whatever kind of agave spirit you like. Play around with it. That's what makes cocktails also kind of fun, is that you get to experiment. This is mezcal. Mezcal is, and I'm going to get some flack for this, it's like tequila. It's an agave spirit. It's just a little bit smokier. I like to add a little dash of that into mine to give it a little bit of smoke. Not scientific, just a little bit. There's that. Again, experimentation is fun. So there are some tequilas that you'll try that you may not want the smoke with. There's some that you might. There are so many different variations you can do on this. Let's get some ice in our glasses now. I like my margaritas on the rocks. My ice has also been sitting for way too long, and it's all frozen together into one super giant block of cubes, but whatever. I don't suppose you guys really actually care. And we'll get some ice in our mixer. Also, kind of fun trivia with drinks. If you've got fruit juice in it, shake your cocktail. If you don't, stir your cocktail as a general rule of thumb. But like everything, rules are meant to be broken. Now, when you shake a cocktail, you got to make a shake face. This is mine. Shake the shit out of it. Okay. Now we're good and mixed. Strainer. There is one more thing to do. Another secret of mine. And no, these are not proper margarita glasses, but it's my bar. I can do what I want. Another little thing that I do, gonna get some shit for it. Add a little bit of beer. I am a beer drinker at heart. This gives it just a little bit of something extra. I've also done some with orange juice before, and that turned out really good. Pulled out some of the triple sec flavors. Garnish, I'm not going to do anything fancy. Just a little bit of lime peel. These are supposed to go down quick. Delicious. Salt. Oh, that smoke makes it perfect. I hope you can't hear my kids screaming upstairs. I'm gonna go deal with that. Prost.